Hey, welcome to the JTV Game of the Week. I'm Harry Ferrone.
And I'm Glenn Pazinko.
And we are coming to you right now live, Junior Varsity Wrestling. Let's see what we got here.
We got our Jackson wrestler, did a nice little gator roll to get him to his back, and he's looking for the fall here, and he's got it.
That was Senior. And that bout is pretty much over.
We may only have one.
We do. That's our
bout.
only sub-varsity bout for today. So we're going to step aside for a few while they get things set here at the varsity level. And then we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Almost going, wait, that was it? What's going on?
Are we off?
Yeah.
Here by the curb, when my old friend heard, hoping for bottles and cans to fill my car. Plastic's alright, cardboard's a delight. When you recycle, you're doing your part. Surround up all you can to help your fellow man. Keep the planet healthy wherever you roam. You're not acting alone. The earth is your home. Yeah, yeah. When you recycle, you're saving your home.
I know it's our anniversary dinner. I'll be there in a couple minutes. I'll text you when I'm in the car. Bye, Mom. See you later.
Don't text and drive.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
You didn't stop.
I know, but my girlfriend, she's mad at me. I had to text her.
It's my first day of school.
He's only 7.
I know, but I was looking down at my phone. I can't stop. I'm sorry.
you been feeling sick? Have you been sneezing? Well, I'm gonna teach you proper sneezing etiquette.
Yay!
Step 1, prepare to sneeze. Step 2, grab a tissue.
Hey, here's your tissue.
Thank you. Step 3, cover your nose and mouth with the tissue. Step 4, sneeze. Achoo! Step 5, throw it out.
Hey, here's the garbage.
Thank you. And step 6, go wash your hands.
Ew.
What to do if you don't have a tissue? Step 1, prepare to sneeze. Step 2, no tissue.
Oh, don't have a tissue.
No. Step 3, sneeze in the inside of your elbow. Achoo! Step 4, wash your hands.
Good morning, class. Today we have an awesome guest speaker. This is Mrs. Schultz. She's our biggest business analyst on Wall Street, and she's here to share her experience with you guys today. Mrs. Schultz?
As a business analyst in the 21st century, my biggest piece of advice to you would be to stay dedicated to your work, but also stay true to who you are.
And I believe that's how we will continue to improve our product and dominate the competition.
Okay, everyone, please take your seats. Today we are going to be dissecting our first animal. That's right, if you want to be a doctor, you have to start somewhere.
So, sir, what seems to be the problem?
Lately, I've been lightheaded.
Here, let's take a look.
Computers are the future. They will be everywhere, from homes to schools to businesses. One of you will be lucky enough to step up and be a part of the revolution. Which one of you is going to step up and take the challenge?
You have the power to save a life. Cardiac arrest isn't rare, but surviving it is. Over 300,000 people suffer from sudden cardiac arrest every year. About 8% survive, and it's not only the elderly that can experience these life-altering events. The number one killer of young athletes is sudden cardiac arrest, because a young athlete dies from cardiac incident once every 3 days in the United States. About 80% of cardiac arrests that occur are outside of a hospital. About 89% of those victims don't survive because people around them don't know how to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's very simple. You can help save a life. The American Heart Association changed its protocol for the public to hands-only CPR, which means when a witness cardiac arrest occurs, a bystander, like you, can call 911 and begin external chest compressions immediately by pushing hard and fast in the center of the chest while awaiting arrival of the first responders. It's very straightforward. Your immediate action can help save a life. Learn hands-only CPR.
Everyone's doing their part. Mask up. Visit www.cdc.gov for more information.
The world has been a very different place since early 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic, and people have faced many challenges at home and at work. While some people have been given the opportunity to work from home, others did not have that luxury, having to go out and risk their health for the well-being of others. These workers quickly became known as essential workers, critical professionals, many of which just under a year ago went largely unnoticed and often underappreciated.
We were hit hard. The pandemic really changed the way we operated our business. I work at Dave's. We operate 2 restaurants close to the Jersey Shore, and we've been able to stay open during the pandemic.
Since the pandemic has started, our work has become more essential, especially with some crimes spiking with others. The biggest one has been domestics. People being quarantined, people being, say, shut down, being told you have to stay at home, can't leave.
When I first heard about the essential businesses open, I knew we were gonna be open the entire time. This grocery store and grocery in general, it never stops. And it's a constant supply and demand, especially for the people, especially during a crisis.
I work at a pediatrician's office. I am a nurse, an RN. Because of COVID, we are all masked at all times. If we're doing patient testing, we are double masked. We wear goggles or face shields. We are social distance with our colleagues, which has been difficult. Sometimes you're on lunch break and you just want to hang out with one of the other nurses, and we all have to make sure we're socially distanced, especially because we have no mask on at that time.
Our protocols were changed all across the board. No indoor dining, we had to wear masks, and cleaning had to be done all the time. And I mean all the time. But people needed to eat, and we needed to continue to work as hard as we could to serve the community of the Jersey Shore. Our business has definitely shifted from mostly in-person dining to delivery and takeout. People are ordering on DoorDash, which is allowing our business to stay alive, but is doing what's essential and keeping people fed during this time.
We have to take a lot more precaution and use different technologies that we've never had before. The biggest one is wearing masks. To roll up to a scene, maybe we have to have our mask on initially, and trying to converse with somebody is a little harder now with a mask. So we had to adjust to that, but just knowing that I still have to do some kind of aid, and I can't worry if they have COVID or not.
Around March, it really kind of hit hard. The whole nation went into lockdown, and everybody pretty much flocked to the store. We've had to hire a ton of new people, and it's just been crazy here, nonstop.
When it started to get really bad, it was pretty scary because we just didn't know how it was going to affect our patients. We see patients from newborns to 26, so we see a lot of little people, and we didn't know if it was going to get bad for them, if it was going to get bad for us.
So much of our work that we do is essential, whether that we have a pandemic or not. From the time we start our shift to the time we end, we are constantly getting called for service, people call headquarters. But regardless of what's going on, we still have to go.
202 Jackson, I'll be en route to that crash.
We can't say, okay, we can't help you out because you have COVID. I can only stand 6 feet away from you. Meanwhile, you have a heart attack. We have to get hands-on.
I still remember when the pandemic first started getting bad. There was one elderly man that came in after I finished checking out his groceries. He said, "Hey, thank you for being here." And it really kind of hit me because it was just, again, just the job, just something to pay the bills. And now people are really reliant on us now, and I'm just happy to be helping everyone out as much as I can.
It's crazy to think that little restaurants like ours could suddenly be providing essential services to people. But here we are, preparing food for hundreds of families all across the Jersey Shore every day.
I can't stress enough as far as us being essential workers that we have to answer our calls. We have to answer our calls. We're in it to help people. Whenever the phone rings and people call for help, we are coming. Again, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a snowstorm, whether it's an active shooter, we are coming to the problem. We have to come to the problem. We can't sit there and say, again, that, there's a COVID going on. I'm going to hold off until the active shooter's done.
While the pandemic seems to be slowing, there is no end in sight. Our essential workers will continue doing what needs to be done, providing essentials for people, risking their own safety to keep us safe, delivering food to keep us from going hungry, and making sure our families are healthy. These are the people who will get us through this, and we should make every effort to recognize their bravery and hard work, and make sure they are no longer overlooked.
Unfortunately, I don't have that.
So new piece of technology we have this year at JTV. Well, actually we got it end of last year, but we're really using it for the first time for games, is a cable camera. So what it is it's a pretty new technology. It runs on a cable across the sideline of the field and is controlled remotely. So it's pretty neat in that it can get the shot where it tracks the action down the field. So when there's a running play, we can follow the action down the field. And two operators do it. So we have one operator that's controlling the actual camera on the trolley that goes across, and then we have another operator that actually controls the camera. It's panning, tilting, and rolling. So it's pretty cool new technology. Yeah, we actually did have some problems with setup yesterday. It's about a 300-foot run across the field, and the way that we initially planned it was 12 foot in the air, and the problem with that is that when the camera trolley gets to the center of the field, it was hanging a little bit low. It got to like 7 feet in the air, which is a little too close to the top of the player's head. So our absolutely amazing buildings and grounds guys went out. They got us new things to hold it up in the air, so it's now at 20 feet. So it's well over everyone's head, and it should have a really, really awesome shot of all of the action. So we're super excited to try it out. I just want to thank all the buildings and grounds guys and Ed Ostroff, who really made this thing happen, along with building administration. Everyone was kind of, full in. Because it's anything where we get to show new technologies to the students and get them to experience new technologies and work new technologies that are actually used in the field is a great chance, a great opportunity for them. So we're super excited to have this rolled out, and can't wait to see it in action tonight. So I'm sure you've probably been seeing it already by the time we're rolling this news package, but if not, look out for it. It's the camera that looks like someone's running at 50 miles an hour across the side of the field at 20 feet in the air. That's the one. All right.
I want it, I like it, I buy it. I told her she gotta come try it. They wondering what I've been doing. I told them I'm keeping it quiet. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it. Yeah, look at me now, I came up. I've been thinking back then when I almost gave up on the game, cause I never got it my way. Never got my mama whip on the driveway. I've been making all hits on a Friday. Back then I was getting like no plays. I'm never gonna change, no Kanye. Gotta get a Lambo like Green Bay. I made a lot, but then I gave a lot, and now I had enough. But I've been keeping up, and now I pay the price to what I'm dreaming of. I had to sacrifice, and now I see the love. Everything beautiful. Lucky I never got trapped in a cubicle. If I did it, then you can do it too. Just follow my move.
Join me, Terry Bradshaw, as I explore all that's new and exciting about the USA and Canada and what people are doing in order to make a difference. It's an easy way to see what's happening across your own country. Welcome to Today in America. The Northeast has played a dominant role in American history and continues to be a major powerhouse today. Join me as we journey to one destination among the original 13 colonies. Situated about halfway between New York City and Philadelphia, Jackson Township, New Jersey, is one of America's best places to live, work, and to play. Established in 1844, the town was named after President Andrew Jackson. Its primary economic driver at the time was agriculture, and while some farms still exist, Jackson Township has transitioned from a rural to a developing community. Its population has more than doubled since 1980, and today, Jackson Township is home to around 58,000 residents. Known by many as the gateway to the Jersey Shore, it's the largest township in Ocean County and the third largest in the state. It spans over 100 square miles, 8,500 acres of which are considered developable land. All of this room to grow makes Jackson Township a place flourishing with development opportunity. And that's exactly what township leaders and others in the community are working to achieve.
The collaborative effort goes back to our working with the New Jersey State Department of Community Affairs
along with the New Jersey Institute of Technology College of Architecture, who helped us design and market this strategic plan so we can attract new businesses, actually people who come to Jackson for not only careers, but to live and work here.
With the substantial increase in population, Jackson Township leaders say their residents could use more big business in town, providing the services residents now have to seek outside Uptown. Jackson Township leaders also say they would like to increase development to provide local employment opportunities and to shift the rateable base from residential to commercial. The township's strong population and its already huge attractor, Six Flags Great Adventure, are working in its favor. One of the first pieces to the township's master plan is the development of a lodging and entertainment venue. The Department of Community Affairs and the New Jersey Institute of Technology College of Architecture and Design are key parts of the project.
Right now, all that Jackson Township needs is a hotel developer to come in, seize this opportunity. The New Jersey Business Action Center is poised to develop a package of incentives for a developer that comes to the state. So we're optimistically looking forward to seeing this development become a reality.
The lodging facility will be the first of its kind at any Six Flags property.
We're very excited about having a lodging and entertainment complex at Six Flags Great Adventure. The reason being is currently almost all of our guests, when they come to visit the park, can't stay because there isn't much accommodation in the area. And so this is actually going to give us the opportunity for them to enjoy the entire complex, both the water park and the theme park on a visit, extend the weekend, or come actually down and spend their vacations here. We're actually looking forward to that.
In addition to the opportunities for commercial development, Jackson Township's residential sector has room to accommodate an additional 5,600 housing units. Mitch Lee of Lee Realty has plans to build 1,500.
Mitch Lee's been working very closely with the mayor and
Hey. Good afternoon and welcome to the JTV Game of the Week. I'm Harry Ferrone.
And I'm Glenn Pazinko.
And we are here for a varsity matchup between the Mariners of Toms River North and the Jags at Jackson Memorial. How's this matchup looking today there, Glenn?
Well, the two teams are short conference foes. They both have 3-1 records, with Toms River North having victories over Toms River South, Central Regional, and Brick, and a tough 1-point loss to Toms River East, where the Memorial Jags have wins over Toms River South, Liberty, and Brick as well, and a loss to Brick Memorial. So this should be a tough match, an entertaining match.
Should be. I see the winning records of the starting lineup here. The 106, probably the lower weight classes are pretty solid. I think Toms River North looking to get off to a strong lead here based on the records of their first 5 in the lineup.
And we will be starting the match at 106 pounds. So just like old school, where we always started that way, they did go to drawing a weight out of the hat to actually change who would get the pressure. A lot of times they would talk about how the heavyweights always had all the pressure because it would come down to them, or everybody would be gone because the match was out of reach. So this gives it a little bit more of an even playing field for somebody to have that pressure on them. But this is gonna, as I said, starting at 106. Right now they're they're doing the PA announcements, introducing both of the starting lineups, but we should be getting started in just a few moments. After the first matchup is going to be Zach Carrico from Toms River North, who is a freshman with a 4-0 record, and he'll be competing against Jason Seda, who's also a freshman for Jackson Memorial, who has a 3-1 record. So should be a nice matchup of two rookies on the varsity level.
Yeah, should be a good one to start things off here. It's like the weather has kind of broken the last couple of days. If you haven't been outside today, temperature's up over 70 probably for the first time in quite some time. Some 80-degree weather in store for tomorrow, I hear. Be a good day to go on vacation, if you ask me.
That'll be nice. It's just you got to be careful where you go.
That is 100% sure. You could do a staycation in the backyard, my friend.
That's true. Okay, so now they're going to have the coaches and captains go out for the coin toss. At this particular time, the ref goes over some quick ground rules. They'll introduce themselves. They flip the coin to see who has choice. Basically, the winner of the toss can choose to be home for home matches or home for even matches. And what being home means is that you have to send out first, but you also get choice in the second period whether you want to be top, bottom, neutral, or defer. So there is a strategy to that because the person who sends out first, the other team can have the ability to maneuver. There's not a whole lot of a maneuvering that seems like can be in play in this particular match, but there are some matches where that coin toss is ultra important. So here we go, the 106-pound match again. It's Jason Seda from Jackson Memorial in the black and Zach Carrico from Toms River North. So both wrestlers are looking to get that position so that they can attack the opponent's legs. Okay, so a lot of times that first 30 seconds or so of the match, I mean, it's a little bit of a feeling out process, especially when you haven't wrestled each other before. Toms River North in on a nice shot. He's looking to score. Jason trying to fight it, but does give out the takedown, so that puts the score 2-0 for Zach Carrico to lead with about a minute left in the first period. Okay, they're out of bounds. They're going to have a restart. Jason will be down and Zach on top. At this point, Jason's going to look to get out, and Zach's going to try and see if he can turn him to get some back points. Zach's got that 2-on-1. Looks like he might be looking for a tilt here, and Jason's looking for hand control underneath, trying to work back up. He's got that hand control, but now he's got to move. He's getting close to scoring. Zach's got to be careful about not locking hands. He does get him back under control, and Zach's going to be looking to try and turn him again. And like I said, Jason's going to keep working to try and get out off bottom. Near the edge, it gets a little bit tougher to score because they always have the ability to get out of bounds, and they do go out of bounds, and they're going to have a restart back in the center of the circle. With 22 seconds left, it's 2-0. Zach Carrico from Toms River North over Jason Seda of Jackson Memorial. So it's always important to try and finish each period on top because that eliminates the opponent's opportunity to score. So getting a point here it would be big for Jason, just as it would be for Zach to stay on top.
3 seconds left to go here.
And he's not able to score. So that concludes the first period with a 2-0 lead by Toms River North's Zach Carrico. And Zach does choose bottom. Jason will be out on top. He's going to look to turn him here. Tries to chop that arm to get 2-on-1. Now he's putting in legs to see if he can break him down, possibly do a power half.
Carrico's got a little bit of a height advantage on him.
Yep, so Jason looks like he's trying to get that power half in. He's controlling his hips with those legs in. Not a whole lot of progress here. Zach's doing a good job of keeping his hips up, and although Jason's doing a nice job riding him, but he's not getting close to exposure. It's getting a little bit high here. Still trying to turn him here. Trying to work that half Nelson in, but Zach is doing a good job keeping those elbows in so he's not getting his arm extended. Not a whole lot of action underneath trying to get out, but Jason is doing a nice job controlling his hips. So 15 seconds left in this period. Looks like he's trying to go for a guillotine, which is a pretty tough move to do, but it's going to run out of time at this point. So we're going to go into the third period with a 2-0 lead by Zach Carrico. It'll be Jason Sada's choice, and he is going to take bottom. So
still 2-0 in this bout so far. Pretty much anybody's matchup at this point.
Okay, so he was given a point by Zach Carrico, so now it's 2-1. So that's kind of advantageous to Jason, although he was taken down earlier. So Zach's probably confident with wrestling on his feet, but at least this particular time, Jason doesn't have to worry about expending the energy to get that 1 point escape. And if he does get a takedown, and the way he rode him, if he takes him down and rides him out, he can win the match. And Zach has not lost yet this year. He's a 4-1 bout on 4-1 record, where Jay Sada is 3-1. Minute and a half left. Exciting start to the bout. Zach's in on a single leg. Jason's got that whizzer. He's really got to fight this. He's doing a nice job. Trying to pound on that head, square up, get his hips squared so he does not give up this takedown.
1 minute to go.
Putting in that quarter Nelson, trying to extend him. He's doing a nice job here. If he can get that pressure on that head to be able to get that leg free so that he can rotate behind. He's getting pretty close to it, but Zach's doing a nice job holding on to that leg.
35 seconds left.
This flurry looks like it'll decide the match. If Jason can get behind to get the points, we got a stalemate here, so that's going to be a restart. Stalemate's called when neither wrestler's able to really improve their position. So again, 25.7 seconds left. Jason's going to have to push the action because he's the one that needs the points. Looks like Zach is really getting defensive at this point, a little bit flat-footed, but Jason's got to keep the pace because he's the one that needs the points. No stall warnings as of now, so Jason's in on a shot, but doesn't look like it's going to be a tough time to finish it. And that's how the bout ends, 2-1. Zach Carrico's going to take the win, which puts the team score 3 points for Toms River North, 0 for Jackson.
Pretty even bout there to start things off.
Yeah, our next bout at 113 is Alex Danielson from Toms River North, who's also a 4-0 record, and he's going to be wrestling against Lucas Lapari, who's a sophomore at 1-2. for the Jaguars. And Alex is a senior, Lucas is a sophomore. They both look to be scouting out their opponent. There's a nice high crotch, changing off to a double. There's a 2-point takedown for Alex Danielson to put him up 2-0. Quickly gets those legs in, breaks down Lipari. He's got that crossed wrist. Now he's coming up top with a cross face. Looking to fortify some type of pinning combination. He's got that one-on-one on the one side. Lucas is trying to get that hand control underneath to prevent any type of cradle, but now we're looking for a tilt. He's got that 2-on-1 tilt, and he's getting a 2-point. So he did get him, held him for 3 seconds, which will earn him two near fall points. So now it's 4-0. Lucas does earn an escape, so they're back on their feet with just under 30 seconds to go.
So the wrestler's getting nice and low.
Yes, Alex does have a low. It's hard to get underneath, and it also gives you an ability to attack. However, sometimes it's not as easy to. You're not quite as mobile when you're that low. So there's trade-offs to change your position. And there you get that 2-point right at the buzzer, which puts the score at 6-1 for Alex Danielson as we go into second period.
And
Lucas
Lipari looking like maybe he's cramping a little bit. So he's walking that off.
Yeah, that happens at times when they don't hydrate, because they do have to make a weight prior to the match, and if you don't do it in the right way, that could happen. Or it could be that during the match he was in a particular move that tweaked that. Okay, Lucas had a little bit of a false start there, so he gets a caution. You get a couple of those before you start awarding your opponent a point. So Lucas did defer, and Danielson took bottom. So again, we're at 6-1. Lucas was warned for stalling right at the end of that first period. So he's trying to break down Alex, but Alex looks like he's keeping pretty good position to prevent that from happening.
Big wide base.
Yeah, sometimes this is where experience comes in. As we said, this is a senior wrestling against a sophomore. He looks very patient, Danielson does. Lucas is staying on his leg. He's got to try and bring him back down to the mat, or he could get called for another stalling call, which we just got called for. So that's going to be a point for Toms River. And he still needs to do that. Right now, he should probably just let him go and wrestle on their feet. Okay, but he did a nice job bringing him back to the mat. But now Danielson gets right back up. I think he's almost waiting to get that stalling call, because Lucas is having a tough time bringing him back. He's trying, but that is part of it. That is in the rule book. If you're not bringing him back down to the mat, it is a stall warning call. So Alex does get the escape, and now it's an 8-1 match at this particular point. Lucas got in on a shot, wasn't able to finish it. It looks like Alex is working that crossface to try and get behind, and he does secure another takedown. So that puts the score at 10-1 with just over 30 seconds left in the second period. Alex is trying to get that wrist out, and now he's going to try and bar it up. Lucas is going to try and stay off his back. He's keeping those elbows in tight to make sure he doesn't get put in a pinning combination. And there's another warning call on stalling, so that's 1 point. That if Lucas just does get called again, it'll be a 2-point And if it happens one time after that, it would be a disqualification. So with 2 minutes left, Lucas has to make sure that he keeps wrestling hard so that he doesn't lose the match on stalling.
Now 11-1, a pretty big lead. Is there any advantage in wrestling to beating your opponent by X number of points? Does it earn the team more points or anything?
Yes, it does. Right now, he's in a major decision. If you win by 7 or less, it's a decision, which is 3 points, which happened in the previous match. Then from 8 to 14, it's 4 points. 15, the match ends and you get 5 points. But the ultimate is to pin your opponent, because that earns you 16 points.
All right.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so again, Lucas has got to keep working, but also Alex has got to do a little bit more to try and sell that stall call if that's what he's looking to get. And I think if Lucas can finish this match without giving up any more bonus points, without it being a tech fall or pin, he's probably done his job. Sometimes
he got out.
Sometimes the toughest matches is when you save bonus points for your team. So just over a minute left. The score right now is 11-2. And actually, if Lucas can get a takedown, that would cut this into just a regular decision. And he's in a good position right now to at least not get taken down and possibly get the takedown, but also take some time off the clock. So we do have a stalemate, 40 seconds left. Lucas got to work hard to try and get that takedown to move this back into a 3-point decision as opposed to
a quick replay of that. Pretty big takedown there. Back live. Only 35 seconds left.
Okay, there's that double leg. He does get that takedown, which brings the score to 13-2. So at this point, Alex would need the goal of Luke at this point is to make sure he's not getting taken down to his back, which it looks like he's going to be able to accomplish that. So this will end up with a 13-2 decision, which is a 4-point decision, so that brings the team score to 7-0 Tom's River. Okay, this brings up our 120-pound match, which for Jackson Memorial is Brett Blaze with a 2-1 record, who's a senior. And for Toms River North, it's Matt Stankiewicz, who's a freshman with a 1-2 record. So this is one that I would think that Jackson would be looking as a win coming into this match. And Brett does start off with a nice takedown, looking for a tilt here. He's got that arm bar, he's looking to stack him up. He is getting back points right now, and he's close to, if he can hold that. It's a little bit tough to pin with the stack, but it looks like he's going to do it.
Got him.
So 27-second pin for Brett Blaze, which is a 6-point team score. So that puts the score at 7-6. Tom's
Really
River
closes up that gap a little bit there. Pretty big pin for Jackson Memorial.
Okay, that brings us up to our 126-pound bout, which Cole Anderson for Toms River North, a junior with a 4-0 record, will be going against freshman Cale Huxford, who's currently wrestling with a 3-1 record.
These guys both off to a pretty fast start here.
Cole's looking to clear that, and he does get behind it to get the 2-point takedown.
2-point takedown, Anderson.
Cale's trying to get underneath that leg, scoot out the back, and it looks like he does get the escape, so that brings the score to 2-1. But Cole gets right back in on a quick shot. here. They're both in a little bit of a funky position. It all depends on how you come out of it.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
So it's often referred to as a funk position, where it's not like a traditional, the way you practice it, but you get into certain situations and it's a matter of body control and figuring out how to come out of it so you come out on top, which Cole Anderson just did with another takedown, brings the score to 4-1.
35 seconds left to go.
He's got that power half. He's got the legs in, but he's getting a little bit high, so Kale's trying to get out the back, and it looks like he does. And he does get the reversal with about 15 seconds left. He does have that cradle locked up, so it's a matter of whether or not Kale can get some back points out of this. He's got just under 10 seconds to do it. And they actually, if he had a little bit more time, I think he would have been able to, but that ends the period with the score 4-3. Cole Anderson from Toms River North over Cale Huxford from Jackson.
There it is, 4-3. Now, how do you pick up the last 2 points at the end of that?
He was able to reverse them. Cole was trying to, that power half got a little bit high, which is the same way that Cale got out earlier. So Cale took bottom, but Cole Anderson decided to give up the takedown because he did take him down, give up the escape. So now that brings us at 4-4. He kind of conceded the point so he could wrestle on his feet because he has had some trouble with the ride. So now he's in on that shot nice and deep. He's going to try and come out the back again. What he's got to try and do is get one of those arms around his waist and turn into him. Cale's going to try and hold on to those legs. If nothing else, get a stalemate out of it, but we will see how this works out. See, now when he turns there, that makes it a little bit tough. He's got to secure that leg, but we might get a nice job by Cale getting those hips around, but Cole is good job getting back on this leg. So Cole and Cale, we got close match and close names. So a lot of wrestling in these positions. They're both doing a nice job. Cale's coming in through the crotch to make sure he doesn't get behind. So now we're going to have a restart back on our feet. Just under 55 seconds to go. Score's 4-4. One thing I kind of noticed so far, it looks like Jackson boys are getting back to the center a little bit quicker, which might have something to do with conditioning. So who knows? We'll see. And that usually pays dividends later in the match.
Yeah, especially as you get into that third period, for sure.
Okay, so sitting on that low single, that knee's a little bit tough, so ref's got to keep an eye on that to make sure that we don't want anybody getting hurt out here. But now we're back in the same situation we were before. He's going to try and come out the back. Cale's holding on. So we got
trying to force him over.
About 5 seconds left. I don't know if we're going to get any points out of this exchange. And we're going to go to the third period with the score tied at 4. We'll see what Toms River decides to do. It is his choice.
Pretty amazing that we got through an entire period with nobody scoring any points.
Well, we actually did have the point right in the beginning of the escape, but there was a lot of wrestling going on for no points being scored. So here we go. Cale's going to be on top. This is really the first time we're seeing him on top, except for the last part of the first period. He's looking for that cradle. He's got that cross face. And we're going to see now he's got that leg in, trying to do a little split scissor or spread eagle. This is more of an opportunistic move. When you have it here, you kind of break him down, then you change off to something else, which is what he's doing. But he's got to be careful about that leg because Cole's got that leg that was in, and he's in a bit of a position to try and improve, try and face him. But Cale's been doing a nice job of keeping pressure, keeping good hip pressure. So here we go. It looks like we did get the escape, so now we're 5-4. Cole Anderson winning, gets right back in on a shot. So Cale did a nice job coming out the back. He's close to getting points, but he's still got, and there it is. So Cale Huxford is now winning 6-5 with just under a minute to go. If he could ride him, he could secure the win.
Now 43 seconds left, up by 1. What's your strategy here?
He's been doing all he can to keep Tom's River Boy from scoring. So right now, I think he's going to continue to do that. But these are, again, not real orthodox positions they're in right now. But a lot of funk here. So it's going to be exciting last 20 seconds. To be honest, he's locking hands there, but the ref's not calling it. Oh, he did call it. I hope he didn't hear me, and that's why I did it, but.
I don't think he did.
So now it's going to be a tie score, so there's 5 seconds left, so unless he can turn them or escape, they will wrestle in overtime.
They go to an overtime period?
They still haven't put the point up. So now they will go overtime. They'll go minutes. The first takedown scores. So, and if there's no takedown after a minute, then they'll do 2 alternating 30-second periods. The only way that would end a match is if somebody gets pinned. So right now, seems like we're in the same situation we've been in quite a bit during this match.
It's a similar position, exactly.
And it's a matter of
30 seconds remaining on the time.
If he can get that crossface, he might be able to secure that takedown, but Cale's got to keep scooting those hips. He's been doing a nice job all match. And there's a takedown. Yeah, that was an exciting match, right down to the end. So the 8-6 decision puts the Mariners up 10-6 as we move into the 132-pound bout.
Here's a replay of that takedown right there.
And this will be Luke Temple, a senior with a 3-1 record against Joe Dolce, who's a freshman at 4-0.
A lot of freshmen in today's lineup early on.
Yes, there are. I mean, 14 weight classes, a lot of weight classes to make sure you have a man there. So quite often you'll see a lot of the lineups do have a nice mix of all the classes. I mean, with the ones that. And if you see a real senior-laden team, usually they have a pretty good run in them in terms of team success. Luke got in on a nice shot. Joe Dolce did a nice job countering, and now we're going to see what happens here.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Last 2 matches, we've had a lot of this funk. Let's see. Nice exchange by both wrestlers. So they're back on their feet. 40 seconds to go. Still no score. Luke's using his leverage in his hips to try and get Dulce to the mat. And Joe seems to do a good job countering that. So just under 20 seconds now, still no score. A lot of action, but no score.
A little bit of a limp there.
He's had 3 nice shots, Luke has. It's just Joe's been doing a nice job defending. And just 2 seconds left in this period. I don't think he's going to have a chance to score. So Tom Zerver's going to defer to Luke Temple from Jaguars. He's going to take bottom.
A lot of action there, but no points scored. 0-0 as we start the second period.
So Luke does a nice job coming to his feet. Just using that length there. Roll, but Joe's doing a nice job staying in on that leg. Luke Temple's trying to get those hips up so it gets a little bit more leverage to be able to defend against that legs, but Joe Dulce is able to stay on those legs and then get back in a position of control, having Luke Temple broken down. Okay, so they go off the mat. Minute 12 left, still no score.
.12 left to go.
Okay.
One minute remaining in the second period.
He's trying to, again, use that length to try and get Joe to his hips so he can step over. Okay, and they're
He's going to pick up a point for an
he
escape.
does get an escape, but he's got to make sure he doesn't give that takedown back up. And it looks like that's tough. Okay. No points, no points. Okay, and they're still neutral. He's able to prevent him from securing that second leg to get that takedown, but
yeah, it looks like Temple
Luke
having some
does
knee
have
problems there.
some type of injury. But we did. 10.8 seconds left. Scores 1-0. Luke Temple leading Joe Dulce. They will be on their feet to finish out this period, and then third period it will be Tom Zerver's choice. Team scores 10-6 with Tom Zerver in the lead.
Injuries during a bout are part of the sport. What do you think most common injury for these guys?
Knees are, necks are, shoulders are. All the joints become issues because there's a lot of pressure on it and a lot of strange positions. I mean, the refs do the best they can to make sure that they're stopping any types of positions that can be can cause any injuries, but that's. So Joe Dulce does get a takedown there with just under 3 seconds left. And it looks like Luke might have to take another injury time. Now, the second time a wrestler takes injury time, you get a minute and a half of injury time during the course of the match. And first time they just log how much injury time. The second time they still log it because once you get to a minute and a half, if you can't continue, then the match is over. But the second time, the the opposing wrestler gets a choice as to what position they want to be in. I mean, right now there's only 3 seconds left, so typically you would take bottom so that there's more opportunities to score. But at this particular point, with the 3 seconds left, it's not going to be as big a disadvantage. However, the more important thing is that Luke is able to continue the match, because if he isn't able to, it would be a default, which would be 6 points. And it looks like that is what's happened. So it is going to be an injury default. So that'll be, and that's not what you want to see. Luke's a tough kid, and this is not.
Yeah, he was struggling from early in the first period, hung in there as long as he could.
Knee pad, so that could be something that he's had a little bit for. So that does put the team score at 16-6, and now we're at 138 pounds. We have George Ebbett from Jackson, and for Toms River North is Jake Rosenthal. Jake is a junior with a 4-0 record, and George is a junior at 1-3.
That is, let's see, we've got from Jake Rosenthal from Toms River North, and George Ebid from the Jags.
Jake is somebody who's had quite a bit of wrestling experience, wrestled with the Toms River Wrestling Club during the Jersey Shore, so he does have quite a bit of experience, and I mean, a 4-0 record is certainly indicative of that. So on a nice high crotch, looking to work across to a double. See if he can finish it on the mat. Now he has to change direction so that he can keep him on the mat, but George is doing a nice job fighting that off, keeping that arm from bumping across to that double. And Jake did a nice job bringing him back to the mat, but George still being very scrappy there. They're still back on their feet. 54 seconds to go, still no score. Okay, so looks like George is doing a good job with that underhook, trying to control the tie, but Jake's able to still get a shot off. So far, Jake has been the aggressor. So so there's Jake in on another shot, and the fact that he has been taking all the shots as of so far, it earns him a stall call against George, but he does get that takedown. So just under 10 seconds to go in the period. First period's going to close with that 2-0 score. And it will be Jackson's choice in the second period.
Tough period, no points really coming there until the very end.
Looks like George is going to be on bottom to start the period. And we'll see if he can get an escape or reversal, or if Jake's able to work some type of pinning combination. So he is working that armbar quick. He's got that in pretty tight, and it's a matter of whether he can turn him. George has been doing a good job fighting off a lot of Jake's attacks, but we'll see how it is on the mat. This is the first time we've been on the mat for an extended period of time. So he's got a armbar on one side, a half on the other. So he's got a choice of which way he wants to run it. Now he's taking that wrist, but got to be careful with that armbar. If that arm starts coming up where it becomes close to parallel, they do call that potentially dangerous, which was what they just did there. Because that puts pressure on the shoulder, and like I said, the joints are the ones that are real susceptible to injuries in wrestling.
Makes sense.
So it looks like Jake tried to cheat the whistle a little bit to get a caution there, but there's no penalty for the first 2 times that you do that. Looks like George is trying to switch. Gets out on that leg, but Jake looks like he's able to recover and regain the control.
1 minute left to go.
Hey, he's looking for that armbar again. And again, that arm bar slid up to a potentially dangerous position, so it was stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching thinking that shoulder doesn't look like it wants to go in that direction.
Yeah, George is doing a nice job of fighting this off. We want to try and get an opportunity to get to his feet, to get out, or sometimes when you're wrestling on top, you become a little too aggressive, and that can put you in a situation where you can get reversed. But it looks like he's going right back to that half, but it looks like that arm's going right back up there. Yeah, that was kind of an easy call from here to see that was potentially dangerous. So George will go back down.
32 seconds left to go.
Hey, Jake's got that arm collapsed. He's looking for that half again. George is really trying to come up. He's got to all fours if he get hand control and come on up, but he's getting broken back down. Jake's doing a nice job riding tight. He's keeping his hips nice and tight. And he's got about 12 seconds left. I think he'll be happy to ride him out at this point, because he will have choice in the third period whether he goes neutral or he takes bottom to try and extend upon this lead. We'll see real soon. So Jake does take bottom. It's 2-0 going into that third period with Jake Rosenthal of Toms River North in the lead, and George Ibid is going to be on top here. He needs to score some points.
Well, an escape here will give him a 3-0 lead, so starting on the bottom, maybe that's a strategy here.
Yeah, there's usually more opportunities to score from the bottom because when you get to high school level, a lot of times it's easier to score 1 point off the bottom than it is to turn somebody on top. And when you have the whole 2 minutes, and especially when you're in the lead too. So, but he is working getting hand control. George just needs to work on a pinning combination. Right now he's got that claw move, but he really wasn't looking to improve himself. And part of that stall call is because Jake Rosenthal is keeping real good position, and it's tough to do anything without exposing yourself to an escape or a takedown or a reversal. So good wrestlers get stalling calls also, but he's got that leg in now. He's going to try and got that double leg in now. He's going to look to try and turn him with the half, but he's not able to keep that pressure on. And it looks like Jake is got hand control, and he does get his escape. So George, if he wants to win this match, he needs to get this takedown. It looks like Jake did a nice job getting right back in on that shot. So that puts the score at 6-0. Jake is going to give him an escape. If he takes him down 2 more times in this 40 seconds, it would put the bout score at 10-2, which would be an extra bonus point. So he does need to work quick if he wants to get 2 takedowns. And it looks like George is doing a good job blocking off, but he also has to worry about the stall calls that he's got. Because if he gives up 1 stall call, then it's just a takedown that he needs. So what George needs to do to keep this to a 3-point decision is to show some action and not get taken down twice. And Jake's trying to do the opposite, push the pace, maybe get a stall call and a takedown, because it's going to be tough for him to get 2 takedowns at this point. or if he takes him down to his back, which is what he did, and so he is going to secure the major decision with those additional back points. So that puts the team score, the bout score at 11-1, and the team score is now going to be 20-6.
Pretty near pin there at the end with just a couple of seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have to wrestle the whole 6 minutes. George was doing a nice job trying to keep it close because I think he was a little outmatched in that bout. But those last 5 seconds cost them a team point. Because so here we are at 145 pound, where we have Eddie Freed from Toms River North, with a senior with a 1-2 record, against Quinn Bowinger, a sophomore who's out to a 3-0 start. So this match is really the midway point. This is going to be the 7th match, and we'll have seven to go after this. Team score is 20-6. I mean, with the exception of the injury default, there have not been any 6-point decisions. So, I mean, and that's important because Jackson has 1 pin, but they're only down. I mean, if they could be back. If they win 3 pins, they're right back in the match. So those bonus points are always important to try and preserve them when you can.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about wrestling. You're really never out of it.
So Quinn comes from a wrestling family. Ryan Bowinger and Quinn Bowinger both were wrestlers here. Connor Bowinger, I should say. Connor was the oldest one, who's actually in his first year coaching at Liberty across town this year. So but Quinn does get a stalling call right there, and then there's Freed in on a shot for a takedown, so that puts the score 2-0 for Eddie Freed over Quinn Bowinger. And again, this is the 145-pound weight class. Got just under 30 seconds to go in the first period. It's got that power half. Quinn's trying to keep his elbows down, head up, to not give up any back points. And now he's looking to see if he can scoot those hips down away from him. 5 seconds left. Those are tough points right at the end. So 2 back points puts the score at 4-0 for Eddie Freed over Quinn Bowinger. So Freed will defer to Quinn. Quinn's going to take down. He signals that he's going to do an optional start, which means he may let him go or not. That optional start is, sometimes they like to get out in front and try a pinning combination and then just let him go, depending upon what type of reaction they get. But so he actually did let him go, but
got 1 point for the escape there.
So it gets the escape, then it kind of gets Quinn off balance, and was able to get a quick takedown, but Quinn may have gotten hurt on that. So we do have injury time for Quinn Bowinger with the score 6-1 and a minute 45 left in the second period.
Not 100% sure what happened there. Take a look at the replay, see if we can figure out what went wrong here.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure. Thought maybe it looked like his hand got stuck under him as he.
Yeah, sometimes when you're falling in the wrong direction and something can get caught on the mat. Not usually, but we shall see. Got the trainer out there working on him.
Trainer's pretty busy during wrestling season for sure.
Yes, they are. Sometimes with the minute and a half that you have, I mean, for for the trainer to actually assess everything, especially sometimes they get hit in the head. I mean, they have to do a quick assessment as to whether or not you're okay. I mean, with protocol,
concussion protocol, right?
Concussion protocol. Not that's the case in this time, but it takes them a long time to assess the injury to see if they're okay to go back, and sometimes that eats up all the minute and a half of injury time. So I know that when I used to coach and our trainer would come out to check one of our wrestlers, I was always like, come on, quicker.
Yeah. Be speedy about that,
I know.
please.
And kind of feel bad about it, but by the same token, if that time runs out,
sure,
and
absolutely,
you're not able to finish, because so we'll see what happens here.
Try to sit up here.
Yeah, trying to see what the trainer's assessing to try and figure out what the injury is, but I'm not really sure because
Yeah, a little tough to tell. We're kind of blocked out here. That's Boehringer right there.
Okay, so that is injury default. So that's another 16 points for Toms River North. So that puts the team score 26-6. We'll now go into the 152-pound weight class where we have Lucas Iovino from Toms River North, a junior with a 1-1 record. He will be wrestling against senior Nick White, who is 4-0 for the Jaguars.
Looks like ice being applied to the back of his neck there. Back live.
A nice quick double by Nick. Get the 2-point takedown. And he's got the legs in right away, looking to try and get back points. Oh, and he is. Looks like he's going to get something here. That particular move that just did that spread eagle. It's kind of tough to get back points off. It's more of an opportunistic move, but it also opens up other things because to defend against that, you might leave something else open. But it looks like he is going to get back points off of it. Did he? But I think he only got one count. So he did not get the. Now we got blood with somebody. So in blood time's a little bit different. Blood time, you get 5 minutes total over the course of the match. There is no limit to how many times you can do it, but just like anything else, five minutes, if you have a bloody nose, can go quickly. The last match we were at, we saw that one of the wrestlers, they actually plugged up his nose and then bandaged around his whole head to make sure that he wasn't using any more blood time. So the 5 minutes can go fast also, but usually the blood time doesn't become much of an issue. But it looks like, and if you got something on his arms, a lot of times it's
cover it with tape.
They can cover it. Yeah, they can cover it, but they might have a mat burn from an earlier match that was scabbed over that can open up. So usually you try and keep them covered in the first place so you don't have to worry about that blood time coming into play.
And the total blood time is 5 minutes total over the course of the entire matchup?
Correct. And actually, if you saw the ref just said cut blood time, because what they do is once the injury is not bleeding anymore, so it's been bandaged, then it goes to cleanup time because they don't want to have blood on the mat, so they'll go around making sure that both wrestlers don't have any exposed blood, and if there's anything on their uniform, they'll spray it with alcohol prep. They'll clean up everything off the mat. So when they cut the blood time, that means that 5 minutes has stopped, but it might still take longer to be ready to wrestle. So there's Nick White locking up a far side cradle, cross-face cradle. Looks like he's taking him back. He's getting back points now. He's pretty close. Oh, he wasn't able to secure the pin. But he did get 2 back points. And still on top. So it looks like it might be trying to go back to that move again. So it's 4-0 now with 35 seconds to go in the period. He's got that. Looks like he's going for a little bundle move, which is off that crossface series, and now it's good because he can change off from one to another real quick. He's got that cradle up tight, but he's only got about 15 seconds, so sometimes you don't have enough time to really finish the move. So I think he's going to be trying to finish on top here, not give up any points, and then go into the second period with a 4-0 lead. So it's Jackson. It'll be Nick White's choice second period. He is going to defer.
White's choice. White defers.
And they're going to start in the neutral position.
Lucas, yeah. Lucas chose his neutral position. Nick did have a quick double leg takedown in the first period. Let's see if he can come right back to that. And there it is. Another nice takedown, makes it 6-0. So now he's looking to work on getting bonus points. Needs 2 more points to secure a major decision. And we saw he was close to pinning him in the first period, so obviously I know that that's on his mind too.
Yeah, especially with the team down 26-6. I'm sure in the back of his head he's thinking they could use some big points here.
They definitely need bonus points out of here, but with wrestling, you never want to get too far ahead of yourself. I mean, secure the win, then secure getting back points, bonus points, and then when you have the opportunity, get that fall. You don't want to wrestle outside yourself. You don't want to try moves just because there aren't any 20-match wins. I mean, the most he can get is 6 points, and if he does that, he's doing his job. But he can use the whole 6 minutes to make sure that he gets those 6 points.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
So he's got that arm bar. Look like he's trying to run that. He's close to getting back points here. He is getting it now. Oh, there he is, and he got the pin. See, he was patient there, and that was a nice job. He was patient, and he let the Toms River boy kind of squirm underneath him and then just secured that pin. So he did his job. That's what you expect a senior to do. So that brings the team score to 26-12 now, and that puts us up to 160 pounds, where we have sophomore Luke Hammond from Jackson with a 1-3 record, and he will be wrestling against Ryan Wynn, a junior, with a 2-2 record.
For Toms River North, Lucas Arena. For the Jaguars, Luke Hammond.
These guys both coming right out of the gate.
Yep. There's a 2-point takedown for Wynn. He's going to stop the match just because to readjust the headgear. Luke also had a couple brothers come through the program. And he was a Jersey Shore wrestler as well. He's trying to get those hips out to get secures. Not quite there yet. Tries to do a little bit of a hip toss. But he's still going to be back on the mat. Minute and a half left to go in the first period.
Working on that escape.
Okay, so Ryan Wynn does have an armbar on top. He's not being real aggressive to try and turn him yet, so we'll see if the ref's going to look to see if he needs to come out. Although Luke's not doing a whole lot either, so sometimes stalling is also relative to what you're doing with your opponent. So Luke's doing a nice job there. Make sure he gets. Okay, so now he's got his escape. So that brings it 2-1 with just about 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Luke got a little bit extended on that shot, and Ryan was able to spin behind. So that
Another last-minute takedown there, up 4-1 now.
And so as we go into the second, Ryan Wynn of Toms River is going to defer. Luke Hammond takes down, so the score 4-1. Ryan Wynn of Toms River over Luke Hammond of Jackson Memorial. Ryan has really been working that arm bar quite a bit. He's got that half on the other side. But he hasn't really been coming out to the side to try and run it. And so Luke's getting those hips up, which puts him in a better position to try and come to his feet. He's got that hand control there. He's fighting him 2-on-1, and he does get the escape. So now we're at 4-2. 1:10 left to go in the period. Okay, Luke's doing a nice job defending his legs this time. But now it's a little bit tough here. They both kind of have the same position. Now Luke comes in on the leg. If he can secure that second leg, he needs to kind of do a reshot, which he just did there, but it was a little bit out of bounds. If you get a little bit deeper with that reshot, then he'll be in a better position to finish off that shot and secure the takedown. So they're still on their feet, 45 seconds to go. 4-2, Toms River over Jackson in this bout, 26-12 in the match. Okay, so Luke's got that whizzer. Toms River's kind of got double over, locked up. Still doesn't have the takedown. He's got to bring him back to the mat to secure it, and he's not able to do that. Hey, when a wrestler turns your back on him, I mean, Luke's got to be a little more aggressive. Not that he wants to do anything stupid and dive after, but get closer to him so that he can take advantage of the position. I mean, so gonna have it looks like Luke's starting to pick up the pace. But he needs to create a little bit better angle to get a little bit deeper shot. So it is Toms River choice. He's going to take bottom. So Luke will be on top. He needs to turn him to get back in the match.
Wynn's going to try and get an escape here, drive this lead up to 3.
So Luke's got that legs in. I mean, Luke's got that leg in. He's trying to get that. A couple things he can do with that arm. He could try and get it over his head and do a guillotine. He could kind of get it through the crotch and do a fish hook tilt. I'm not sure exactly what he did. That was on the bottom. I'm not sure. But right now, Luke's getting close to getting back points. If he can push that head away, put that half in, he can get back points. He might have grabbed. You have to grab 4 fingers at a time. I'm not sure if that's actually what we didn't really have the bird's eye view to see what he did call. But really, we're getting close to it. If he doesn't turn him, he may look to let him go to try and get a takedown. Because give up a point and then get 2 in return will at least tie up the score.
Up, right.
And I don't believe that he's gotten a warning for stalling the Toms River boys, so that's another thing they can do. So he is going to let him go. But so he's got 25 seconds to get a takedown to try and push this match into overtime. Okay, now got 5 seconds to try and get behind. And he's not going to be able to do it. So that bout ends 5-3 with Ryan Wynn defeating Luke Hammond. Puts the team score at
Looked like you might have ran out of gas there at the end.
12. I think Luke was in a little bit better shape right there. However, didn't have quite enough. So we'll see. I think that he had an opportunity to get back points there, and that's where maybe he lost his opportunity. So right now at 170 pound, we have Rob LaGraveness, a 4-0 senior for Jackson, wrestling against Nick Rastelli, who's 1-3 senior for Toms River North. So Rob's get nice little drag to a single. Picked him up, brought him right back down for the takedown. Looks like he's trying to bar it up.
Pretty big takedown there.
Yeah. He's got that wrist so he can try and stack him, or just got to be patient here. Take it nice and slow. Get your back points. Now if he sits through, he can try and get, because right now he's got the one shoulders down. And if he could kind of sit through, he could potentially get that other shoulder down. So he has plenty of time right now. So now he can look just to try and fix this up to try and get the fall, which he's getting pretty close to it. So scores 5-0.
Going to pick up 1 point for the escape.
Okay, so we got 26 seconds left. 5-0 lead for Rob LaGraveness.
I thought he picked up a point there at the end.
I think they just went out of bounds, and that's when it looked like it was escape. But so we got. Okay, not a whole lot of time left. If you can get a quick tilt. It looks like we're going to finish the period 5-0.
How are the back points scored?
Back points is once you get him on his back and your shoulders are within 45 degrees of the mat. If you hold him there for 2 to 4 seconds, so 2, 3, or 4 count, you'll see the ref swat his arm. It's 2 points. 5 seconds or more, and they'll stop counting after 5. Then you get 3 points. So Rob did get an escape and a takedown, took him down right to his back. He's going to try and keep him on the mat right here to secure the fall. So right now he's got his 3 back points, and the ref is just looking to see if the opponent has both shoulders on the mat. Okay, so there's 3-point near fall. Brings the bout score to 9-0. And it appears in this match that the Toms River boys looking to try and save some bonus points, which means don't get pinned, don't get tech falled. So Rob is being a little more aggressive, and you can see that in this situation that Tom's River boy is trying to not put himself in a situation where he's going to be put to his back. And the other thing in this situation where Rob wants to make sure that he gets a fall as opposed to just getting a technical fall, you don't want to get a cheap 2-point back points and then not pin him, because soon enough, see right now, if he gets 2 points here, but he still has the same pinning combination, so I guess the ref didn't, I missed that. I thought the ref did have a 2 count, so that's fine. So he's got pretty much half the match to work on putting him in a pinning combination that he can finish the match with. But what he also wants to try and do is make sure that he's working in the middle of the mat. Because your opponent will know if they're on their back close to the edge, and if they're able to do a little bit to get out of bounds, then it's a new start, and you're off your back. So if he can hop over here. It's just he's got that one shoulder's getting tough to get exposed if he has enough time. Ooh, you might have it there, but if
Nope. I think the clock went before he had him.
Well, the ref did wave it off. If he had more time, he would have done it there. Well, it's 12-0, so basically the next time. Okay, now this is kind of tricky here, because if he lets him go, he gets a point and he gets taken down. That's going to put it at 15. So he has to take him right down to his back, or he can let himself get taken down. But now the match is going to be it's still. See, because...
So he wants to win by 15 here, right?
Well, if he wins by 15, the match will be over, but they only get 5 team points, so they'll lose out on the opportunity to get a pin. So third period, he might as well, try and take him down to his back, because if you take him down to his back, which is what he did, that's perfect. Now he has the opportunity to secure the fall if he can, and if he doesn't, then he'll have the tech fall. Whatever happens now, Rob's going to win the match, but he gets an extra team point if he's able to pin him. So this is really whether or not he can get off his back. So that right there saved Tom's River a team point. So now the score is 29-17 with the 5-point technical fall as opposed to 29-18. So we'll see if that makes a difference at the end, and that's quite often it does. So we will see. But Rob worked as hard as he could. He did everything he could. Like I said, he took him down right to his back. Just give the Tom's River boy credit for being able to get off his back. So that puts us up. So it's 29-17. We have Mike Roush at 182 for Jackson with a 4-0 record. He's a junior. And Angel Perez is a sophomore for Tom's River North with an 0-1 record. So right now there's 4 bouts remaining. So we can start looking at the team score. Jackson's down by 12 points. They win all the matches with bonus points in one of them, they'll win the overall match. But it's all a matter of matchups here. So, as I said, Mike Roush is 4-0, junior. And Angel Perez has right now, this is his second match. He lost his first one. He's a sophomore from Tom's River.
Opponents kind of feeling themselves out here.
Yeah, the bigger wrestlers, I mean, it's a different style of wrestling where they're not quite as quick. They are explosive, but they're a little more deliberate in what they do on the mat.
182.
Yeah, 40 seconds left. Still no score here. I mean, Mike has been taking the shots of so far.
$19 seconds left.
That was a nice shot by Mike, but I think he might have gotten a little greedy. He was trying to get the back points too instead of just securing the takedown. So sometimes you wrestle with a different mindset. If you think you have to get those bonus points, then you might do a little bit more risky moves than take what's right in front of you. So we'll see. I mean, so Tom Zerver's going to defer to Mike Roush. He's going to take bottom. So he is letting him go. And sometimes when you're looking to save bonus points, it's easier to defend on your feet than it might be on the mat.
On the ground,
so.
yeah.
But he's been doing a pretty nice job, I think. That was a nice attempt there, and Mike did a nice job rolling through. Now if he can secure the takedown, but actually Angel did a nice job of fighting that off. Mike's got to try and clear those, work on that grip, try and get behind there. He is getting close to locking up a cradle. So he does have that takedown. Okay, so we got blood by. So I signaled blood red, so I think Mike Roush might have a bloody nose there.
Quick bandage applied here.
So 32 seconds left in the period. We're at 182. We still have 3 bouts to follow this, as we did start at 106. So we got the 195, the 220, and the 285 pound bout. Jackson's looking to get a little bit closer here.
Definitely going to need some help with bonus points in order to close the gap up on this one.
Yes.
4 threes. Let's see, 4 threes. Puts it at 26, so they're definitely going to need some bonus points for sure. Oh wait, unless I'm doing the math wrong here. That might be 29 actually.
Well,
They
4
could
threes
actually
would be
tie-
29,
4 threes
but
would be 29.
there's still a lot of wrestling to go, so we don't have to do all that math just yet.
That's a lot of math for a Thursday afternoon, let me tell you.
Yes.
Both wrestlers back out on the mat. 32 seconds left to go in the second period. Mike Rouch up.
And we're back in action. Angel's doing a nice job of blocking Roush's shot. I think Roush has got to clear that collar tie to get a little bit deeper on the shot so he can finish it. Work inside, but so
2-point
Angel's
lead here
taking-
for Roush.
Yeah.
Final period.
So yeah. Okay. So he's looking for that crossface, trying to get into crossface cradle. He was close to locking it up last period, but wasn't able to do it. He's doing a nice job underneath. But so the bottom man does get called for stalling. He has had quite of a defensive posture when he's on the mat. And Roush is going to get him to his back here. Now the thing is, and there's the fall. That was big. That's big.
That was a pretty big moment.
And that's probably why he was taking neutral, because Tom's River Boy wasn't real comfortable underneath, and Mike made him pay off for Jackson. So here we're at team scores 29-23, 3 bouts to go. This is Paul Novello, a sophomore for Jackson with a 1-2 record. He's wrestling Alex Premer from Toms River North, who has an 0-3 record. So big matches. I mean, that's why there's 14 of them. So it's the cumulative result of all those matches that determines the team winner.
So every point counts too.
You can have matches with 2 4-0 wrestlers. You can have matches with some wrestlers that aren't quite as experienced. They all count the same in the long run. So it's like Paul is close to scoring, but they're still back up on their feet.
No points scored yet.
Doing a lot of hand fighting, looking for inside control. Got 30 seconds left in the period. Still no score.
Neither wrestler able to get the upper hand so far. And the clock's going to run out here.
Yep. But with these upper weights, things can turn quick. I mean, a lot of mass when you get moving and make a wrong move, just like that last match. I mean, it was
turned on a dime, turned fast.
It was a tight, low-scoring match, and then, just as you said, it's not as easy to come out of some of those positions. It's a nice job by Paul. Get it. That looks like. So there is an escape there. So Paul Novello takes a 1-0 lead with just 10 seconds gone in the second period. Okay. Nice little exchange that just happened to be off the mat.
The ref has to step in, keep him from hitting the hardwood floor there. About a minute left to go. Second period.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Got 30 seconds left, still 1-0 lead by Paul Novello.
And 5 seconds left to go.
And it looks like we'll be going to the third period with a 1-0 bout score.
Only 1 point separating two wrestlers here.
And that's interesting that he took neutral. I mean, even though he was down by a point, could be that he was, I mean, just like we talked about that last match, not comfortable on the mat. Because neither wrestler's been able to secure a takedown, and if that happens this period, then it'd be a win for Jackson, which they desperately need at this point to keep their match hopes alive.
1 point margin here between these two. Not a whole lot to make up here if you're the Mariner.
Okay, so stall warning against the Toms River boy. And he really is the one who needs the points, but a minute to go.
1 minute remaining in the third period.
Still 1-0 lead by Paul Novello over Alex Premor of Toms River North.
Takedown for either wrestler here will pretty much seal the deal.
Well, depends on how much time's left. I mean, Premor's really got to try and push the pace a little bit if he wants to salvage this match. And Paul Novello has been controlling the action on the feet, even if there haven't been shots there. So right there, looks like get behind. It's going to get the 2 points. And then one escape. Makes the final bout score 3-1. It makes the team score 26-29 as we go into our final two bouts.
Getting very interesting right about now.
Yeah, so Coach Stanley is going to send out Nicholas Alfanor, a junior with a 1-1 record, and he's going to be going against Luke Spiewak, a senior with a 2-1 record. So a 3-point lead for Toms River North at this particular point.
All right, here's a big one. Here we go.
There's a lot of different combinations of points in these last two bouts. I mean, in terms of team points. So instead of going through all the permutation, we'll just watch the match and enjoy and see what happens. And then we can make a definitive call on the once we get into the heavyweight bout. Although sometimes that's not fun. So if Toms River to win this match by a bonus point, so for 8 points or more, they would clinch the bout if there's no penalty team points that happen, which is also something that could happen. But bonus points would give them a 7-point lead, and 6 points the most you get in a match. So again, it looks like they're still feeling themselves around. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. He gets points out. He's behind, but he doesn't have those points yet. He's got to get behind, and there he does.
Spiewak went for the takedown himself and ended up.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
that's why, yeah, with the bigger guys, you'll see that they'll be tentative to shoot because that can happen at various times if you don't get a good shot, because there's more weight coming down on you, which can get you extended. So it looks like we'll go into the second period.
First period ends, and that's.
And so Nick's up 2-0, and he is going to take bottom to start the second period.
Affendor with a small lead here.
These close team matches are fun and sometimes a little bit torturous too, because like after the match you're replaying all these things. Oh, we could have won here, we could have done this. I mean, so when all 14 matches, you can always find the points that would make you win it in those close matches. So there's going to be some of that going on, I'm sure, after this match, regardless of how it turns out. So Nick here is trying to stay square with them to get him extended. If he can break that grip, he could probably get behind it to secure another takedown. But it looks like Luke Spiewak is doing a good job holding on to that leg. If Nick can kind of break that grip, kind of work those hands, he's trying to get space between his hips and his opponent's hips. And they do get a stalemate out of that, so they're going to start back up on their feet.
Back in a neutral position?
Back in the neutral position. A lot of fighting for inside position.
15 seconds left to go. Second period.
That's one of those risk-reward moves. Sometimes you see them do that. They might take his back, and sometimes they end up on their own back. That was kind of a in-betweener where he just gave up the takedown.
Let's take a look at that one, because that started out looking like it was going to be a takedown, a 3-2 contest, and it got flipped and reversed pretty quick.
Sometimes that's a little bit tougher later in the match when guys get sweaty and it's harder to hold on to. But we got a 5-0 score.
How many points do they need to get the bonus?
3 more will give them a bonus, which would they got to win by 8 or more, or Nick would have to win by 8 or more. And the way it stands now, it looks like whoever wins heavyweight is going to win the match.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you slice it up, the heavyweight's going to have to win.
Correct. I mean, if there was a fall here, then that could put Jackson in a 3-point advantage, and then if Tom's River won that by less than 8, it would end up being a tie. Then they go to criteria. So there's a lot of different things that come into play. But what it looks like now, at least barring any big change here, looks like we might be going to the heavyweight all knotted at 29. But there's plenty of times when a lot of different things happen in the last minute. So we got a warning call against the Tom's River boy. Which makes the score 6-0.
Seconds left.
We got another warning on Tom's River boy. So that'll make it 7-0. If he turns him or gets another warning call, then that would put it in the area of a major decision. Ten seconds remaining. I don't know if they put that other stalling point up there, but regardless if it was 7-0 or 6-0, Nick Affendor wins 7-0, which puts the team score 29-29 going into heavyweight.
Yeah, here's the end of this one on the replay, and this is going to be going. We've got a 29-29 matchup, and it goes down to the heavyweights here. Winner takes all here.
Okay, so here we go.
Noble and
quick takedown.
John O'Donnell.
John O'Donnell from Toms River North Mariners with a 4-0 record. He is a senior. Ryan Noble's a junior with a 1-3 record. And it looks like a little bit of difference in size here. It means heavyweight is it's not unlimited. It's 285 is what we should say.
Well, he's giving away roughly.
Looks like he's giving away
50 pounds.
About 50 pounds. So tall order for Ryan Noble. And there is the fall, which will secure the match for Toms River North. Final score is going to be 35-29. John O'Donnell winning by fall. But it was an entertaining, hard-fought match amongst these two short conference rivals.
Looks like it's
coaches go out.
Gonna be Mariners 35-29.
So
another exciting match for you.
Yep, the Mariners. So the Mariners are going to improve to 4-1, and the Jackson Memorial Jags are going to fall to 3-2.
All right, well, that's going to wrap us up for today. Thank everybody for tuning in to the JTV Game of the Week. I'm Harry Ferrone.
And I'm Glenn Pazenko.
And thanks so much again for your expertise today, Glenn. It's great to have you here. Thanks so much.
No problem. It's a lot of fun.
All right, we'll see you next time on the JTV Game of the Week. So long.